Welcome. It's great to have so many of you join us today for today's webinar, which is on the topic of Look Good, Feel Better workshops, and that is with the lovely Becky Ivy Walsh. For those that don't know me, my name is Dolores, and I am one of the support services officers and a member of the support services team here at Overcome. I'd like to take this opportunity to remind everyone that the support services team are here to provide information and support for anyone that is affected by ovarian cancer. And as many of you will already know, but a little reminder, you can get in touch with us via our support line Monday to Friday between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. to talk through anything, any questions, any concerns you might have, or just to have a friendly chat. And you can contact us by email and WhatsApp or messages via instant chat, which is on our website. We're always really happy to hear from you, so please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. Just for your information, we also have a range of online support groups, workshops, webinars, and health and wellbeing days. And all of the details of those can also be found on our website. So I'm now delighted to introduce and extend a very warm welcome to today's speaker, Becky, who is a professional hair and makeup artist and a dedicated volunteer with Look Good, Feel Better UK. So at this point, it's over to you, Becky.
All right, lovely. Thank you. Well, thank you, Dolores. Thank you, Joe, as well. And thank you for everybody that's joining today. Let me just share my screen so I can go through my presentation with you. Bear with us. Let's have a little look. Let's get it on. Let's do that. You guys should be able to see it now. And I'm just going to pop it on so it is as a slideshow. Everyone can see it. Yep, perfect. Right. Okay. So Look Good, Feel Better with me. I'm Becky. I'm one of the volunteers from Look Good, Feel Better, and I have been volunteering for Look Good, Feel Better for over 10 years. And I actually started volunteering whilst I was going through my treatment for ovarian cancer. I was approached by somebody while I was sitting in my chemo chair by one of the Macmillan ladies who said to me, "Oh, it'd be great when you lose your hair and your eyebrows and things to go to one of these Look Good, Feel Better workshops." And I said, well, I already have. And I thought, maybe it's about time that I actually start volunteering for Look Good, Feel Better after being approached a number of years ago. Um, so yes, that's I've kind of already done that already. So I love doing the workshops. What's interesting actually about Look Good, Feel Better is a lot of the volunteers will have either gone through cancer themselves or actually have somebody very close to them going through cancer, and hence they give up their time for Look Good, Feel Better from there. And you almost like feel like you're kind of giving back basically through doing these workshops. So a little bit about Look Good Feel Better. So we are one of the specialist charities that actually support with, sort of like the appearance and sort of the cosmetic impact that cancer treatment can have. We've been sort of going for about the past 30 years. In the UK itself, it was actually 1994 when we launched, and we're in over 27 countries now. In the UK itself, we're across the country, so 150 venues. I think we're plus actually 150 venues now. And those venues can take the form of being in the actual hospital itself, within a Macmillan Centre or a Maggie Centre. And we're also starting to do them outside of those as well. So, for instance, I think it was back in February, I launched the Harrods one in Milton Keynes, the H Beauty event. So have a little look out. They're on the website. And you can actually join any of these workshops if they're available to book on the website, whether they're near your work, whether they're near your home, whether it's the hospital that you're attending. Please have a little look. And from there, they're face-to-face workshops, but we also do virtual workshops as well. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about all of them as well. And we're a lot more than just I think sometimes people think, oh, we're only concerned with, the appearance and actually, it's a lot more than that. You can tend to feel quite lonely when you're going through treatment. I know I did. And actually, even though I could do my makeup and make myself feel better in that way, I wasn't meeting people who were in the same circumstance. So it was lovely when I actually joined a workshop to feel that way. As I said, you can see a lovely picture on the screen of me and Natalie as we're volunteering for one of the workshops. So as I said, we do a number of different workshops. So we do skincare and makeup, we do teen and young adult skincare and makeup workshops, we do head wrappers workshops, and we also do men's workshops, which are in the pilot phase at the moment. So, what do these workshops entail? So, skincare and makeup, we have lots of lovely products that are donated to us, and I'm going to hold up my big bag in front of me, which is basically the bag that you get when you come to one of the Look Good, Feel Better workshops. And we have a lot of different products that are basically donated to us via the beauty industry. So you can see we're holding up a lovely YSL foundation. We've got like a L'Oreal toner. The idea is of these particular workshops is that we will take you through from like a sort of a cleanse, tone, and moisturize, and then do sort of like a full face of makeup, but like a day makeup. Now, with these workshops, I have a lot of people who come in. It's I always describe our skincare and makeup workshops when they first start a little bit like, when you've been sent away for work for that away day and you're going into this room full of strangers and you're like, oh no, I'm going to have to introduce myself. I don't know if I want to be here. Um, it's literally that's kind of the feeling of trepidation you may have. Please don't have that feeling of trepidation. Literally come in. What we will do is we have very sort of like small groups. Generally, we tend to be between sort of like 10 and 20 patients that are going through treatment and in various stages of their treatment as well. Some people are just beginning, some people are midway through, some people are actually at the end and out the other side and need a little bit of support as well from there. And what we do is we welcome you all in. You'll normally have sort of 2 to 3 volunteers at that session as well. Um, and it's up to you how much you want to take part in. So if you're somebody who's like, oh, I've never worn makeup before in my life, and why am I here? We'll take you through step by step. And I would say use it as a time to try new things, and you're not going to be marked if you do it wrong, because we're here to show you how to do it. If you don't want to do any of the steps, you don't have to. You can take away your lovely gift bag. And I've had people that basically have started the session, don't want to get involved and just are quite happy to sit and listen to me and the other volunteers. And then halfway through, they're literally in it. They've got all the products starting to be popped on. We have other people that literally just sit there and write notes and just enjoy being with people as well from there. So we'll sort of talk you through how to care for your skin as well, because I know sometimes that can become dry or acne prone. Mine actually was complete opposite. It was as oily as ever and very moony from my steroids. So we all have different things. And we'll also go through things like, if people are experiencing eyebrow and eyelash loss. We'll go over that. I know not everybody will. And what I would say as well from there, don't feel like you can't come if you haven't lost hair and eyebrows and eyelashes and things. These workshops are for everybody, and not everybody has the same treatment at the end of the day, but it's about making you look good and feeling better and walking out of there basically feeling a lot better than you came in from there. And what's lovely with our workshops is you'll see ladies swapping numbers at the end of it. We have a lot of ladies that you'll see on a lot of our campaigns. So even particularly the ladies that are on the picture now for the webinar, all of the people that are in our campaigns are all ladies that have attended our workshop at one time or the other. And seeing these friends that they start to make as well is absolutely amazing. And I made friends for life as well through those. So that's kind of skincare and makeup. So as I said, please don't be frightened if you've never worn makeup before. Please come along and enjoy 2 hours where you're not thinking about your cancer treatment and you're with other people in a similar situation. The next one that we've done is we launched head wrappers. Now, head wrappers is great if you've lost your hair. You might, we're all different in different things. I was somebody that actually was like a wigaholic. I've actually got my favorite wig here that I used to wear, which I call Katie. It's like my Katy Perry one. I wore that while I used to go to work. When I didn't go to work, I'd wear sort of like caps and things. And actually, interesting enough, when I recently did the head wrappers training, I was like, oh, I don't want to wear headscarves. It's going to make me look awful. We do like 4 different looks. And actually, if only I'd known how to do the land girl wrap look, I would have worn that the entire time. And you get, same as you would do with the skincare and makeup workshop, you get the lovely big bag of goodies. You get a lovely head wrappers bag as well, which actually is full of lovely. You've got like a cotton scarf, you'll have a silk scarf in there, you'll have a little caps to catch the hair as well in the evening, or if you just generally want to wear the cap as well from there. And they are a lot of fun. Whereas our skincare and makeup generally tends to be 2 hours, our head wrappers one is normally around sort of an hour and a half, so a slightly sort of shorter session. And not only will we go through sort of looks with the actual scarves itself, but we'll also talk to you about scalp treatments and things and how to care for your scalp as well as you're going through it. And actually what happens when your hair starts coming back, because even sometimes that we're like, I vowed I would never dye my hair again, and as you can see, that did not last long from there. So, but you want to kind of know the right time for when you are able to do that again, or you feel like doing that again. So yeah, they're fantastic as well. I've really enjoyed doing those sessions. Um, Online services. So we have the hair loss, scalp care, and regrowth. So these ones you can actually book online via the website. We do the headwear, wigs, brows, and lashes, and also Let's Chat hair loss as well. So that's in conjunction. We do head wrappers in conjunction with cancer hair care as well. We also have a lovely hand and nail care workshop. With the hand and nail care workshop, I haven't got it with me today, but the online one, once you do the online one, we do send you a lovely a little kit of different nail products in there as well. So again, well worth to get the swag, I always say, for that. And then our latest workshop is styling for confidence. Styling for confidence. If you remember the days like me, you're old enough to remember me like Colour Me Beautiful, where you do your colours. Are you a winter, a summer, a spring, etc.? We go through all of that colour theory. We also talk about maybe your body has changed. Over time, maybe it's changed sort of through treatment, maybe it's changed after treatment, depending on what the regime that you're on. I kind of really didn't think that much about sort of styling for confidence when it first came out, but then we're starting to roll out in-person sessions, and we did a couple of in-person ones at John Lewis in Oxford Street last year. And I didn't kind of really take on board the fact, that there were so many people struggling with their appearance and their body shape. And we had a lot of ladies on that session actually that came to the session and again were like, why am I here? I'm not going to buy that dress for, a year's time when I finish treatment, etc. from there. And what was really lovely is when we finished the workshop and everybody has completely changed how they're feeling. As I went down the central escalators at John Lewis in Oxford Street, I could see people going through all the racks of clothing. So people had sort of reinvigorated. You thought, actually, let's dress for now. Just because I'm not the same as I used to be, let's dress now for how I am now. And let's kind of go on there from there for those. So yeah, and we also do the skincare and makeup one online. What I would say is if you're still feeling a little bit trepidatious about the skincare and makeup one in person, you can come to the skincare and makeup workshop online. We don't actually give out the gift bags on the online one, but what you might find is that at the end of the online session, you might go, you know what, I'm actually ready to go and do an in-person one now. So if you've done the online one, you can come and join the in-person one and just book yourself onto that. What I would say as well, and what I would encourage is actually to speak to the ladies in the office as well at Look Good Feel Better. They're lovely. Again, a lot of them have been through a similar experience as well, and they can kind of talk you through the different workshops as well. So if you're not quite sure, especially when it comes to hair loss, sometimes you're not quite sure which one you should be on yet. So give them a call and they'll talk that through with you and they'll book you one as well from there. So yeah, so the hand and nail care, as I was saying, it's an online one from there. It will go through common side effects, so your dryness, your sensitivity. You might have different color changes and things with the nails as well. Or again, you just might want a little bit of pampering at the end of the day. So again, pop yourself onto those sessions, and hopefully we should be doing those in person as well later in the year, which would be fantastic. So again, a little bit about the styling for confidence. So do them virtually, but they will be coming in person. And I would, again, really, really sort of strongly advise. I mean, it's interesting. A lot of ladies start with Styling for Confidence and then end up coming on the other workshops off the back of that. But pick what is right for you at this time. You might be somebody as well that maybe is you're sort of thinking, well, actually, I'm in remission right now, but I could still do with a little bit of something, a little bit of TLC. If you've not attended a workshop, please book yourself on one. So it doesn't matter that you finished treatment. I'm, 10 years post, and I still, the whole reason I think, to tell you the truth, that I do some of the volunteering is the fact that I'm part of this lovely team and this lovely enveloping of love, basically within our workshops. So we will start doing them in other retail premises. So please watch this space. So even if we don't have a workshop now, keep a lookout, or even say to the ladies in the office, if you happen to ring them up or send them an email, I'd be interested when Styling for Confidence comes, in person in a retail outlet, and we'll let you know when that's about to happen as well from there. So yeah, that was I think quite a sort of short and sweet session, and I will hand back now to the lovely Dolores.
Thank you, Becky. It may have been short and sweet. It wasn't that short, but you were certainly very thorough. You covered so much in information. And through your slides, there was a lot of information on your slides as well. You have answered this question, but I will just come to it because it's been popped into the Q&A, was just around the Styling for Confidence. Will it always be online, or is it going to be in real life? So
Yeah. So 100% it will be in real life. So, I mean, we're probably going to do a couple of, again, taster sessions throughout the year. We've so far, basically, they've done Edinburgh, they've done London, and they're looking at other areas where they can do them. So they're imminent, basically. So I
mm.
would keep an eye out. But as I say, please call the ladies in the office or even email them and say, I'd be really interested. Can you let me know? And then they literally will put you on the list and message you when that is about to happen. What's interesting as well, actually, even off the back of all of those lovely workshops, is we also do experience days as well. And I can talk about one that all of our ladies that had attended one of our head wrappers sessions, we did a lovely experience day in Dior in the head office, and we had the Dior scarves, and it was amazing. So I would even say, if you love our workshops and you want to be part of those as well, please let the ladies know, and they'll put you down for that as well, because we're always looking for people if they want to come and join us again, basically.
No, that's brilliant. That's really helpful. Thank you. So as I go through the other questions that we've had in, please do use the Q&A function, and drop any other questions in that you think of as we're going through what's already there. If you're not familiar with the Q&A and you prefer to use the chat bubble, then just use that. That's absolutely fine. And Joe and I will keep an eye on that. So one of the questions we've had in, it's come up in a couple of ways. And you've probably covered it, but it's always useful to have a little recap, isn't it? So what can I expect from my first Look Good, Feel Better workshop? So there's probably a little bit of, when you go along to something for the first time, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking, can't it? You don't know what to expect really when you turn up. So what can they
Yeah.
expect?
Yeah, no, so it is, and it's really surprising actually, because you see sort of the ladies come through the door and they're a bit like, oh, like why am I here? Like what am and especially with obviously all of us will be we're normally kind of in our sort of day makeup, so not super super glammed up, but some of us can be from there. But what's really lovely is we kind of welcome you in, we get you to take a seat, um, make you a lovely sort of like tea, coffee, water. We give you a lovely little name badge as well. You don't have to go around a session. It's not like, again, like one of those those company away days where you're like, what's your name and where have you come from, kind of thing. It's very much like we'll give you a lovely name badge. You tend to find the moment somebody's sitting next to each other, people start chatting. We've also and again, we've also had some ladies who don't want to kind of converse and are just like, I just want to kind of know, and that's fine as well. So we will very much kind of work around you. I mean, it's when we do the workshops as well. I think a lot of people are like, oh my God, I don't wear makeup and I'm going to end up with a full face. And we're all used to Instagram these days and wants everyone, a lot of makeup. you literally pick and choose what you want. But it's really interesting because everyone comes in. It can be quite quiet. You might have a slightly larger than life person come in that then gets everybody talking as well. We're quite larger than life as well, so we will get you talking at one point. Um, but what then happens is by the end of the session, you cannot keep people quiet. So it starts off with everyone's like, "Oh my God, why am I here?" To ladies, we need to move on to the next thing. We haven't got to the eyebrows yet. Yeah, it's, I would say, please, we have a lot of ladies as well. And I mean, even when I used to be in the head office helping out with the calls and things, who we'd almost do like a bit of a reminder call. It's coming up tomorrow. And they'd be like, oh, I was going to cancel. And I was like, please don't cancel. Even if you feel like it's not for you, you're having a particularly terrible day. We've all had that. I've been there as well, where I'm just like, don't want to get up, don't want to do anything. Please get yourself up and go there, because by the end of it, you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe that I was going to turn around and say that I didn't want to come. It's honestly, it's what you make of it, but don't feel that you have to be the life and soul of the party, that you're going to have to participate. You do you at the end of the day. You're still you, and everyone deals with things and feels comfortable in different ways. So we will ensure that, you're not sort of put on being a model for something. You're like, no, I don't want to do that. I've had to do it where I've arrived. It's very rare, I must say, and where I've arrived with full face of makeup up, I've taken my makeup off and then I'm sitting at the front doing it. And then halfway through the session, everyone decides that they do want to be my model. And then I'm like, look at what a state I look. At the end of the session, I've got half a makeup on, but that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
It certainly sounds super friendly and very much just come and be yourself, and you won't be forced into doing anything that you are not comfortable with doing.
Yes.
Which is lovely to know actually when you're going along to something like this.
Mm.
And I should say we've had so many positive comments and pieces of feedback, even as we've advertised today's sessions. So I think that also shows how warm and welcoming you guys are.
Mm.
Um, just on the makeup then, so we've had a question about the makeup, and it says, I'm not very confident with makeup, so will the workshop still be suitable for me?
Yes, honestly, 100%. So whether you're like me, who's worn makeup since she was 12, or you're somebody who's never worn, I mean, especially when, and again, I know not everyone that comes into a workshop will have lost their hair, but I always say it to a lot of people, whereby people turn around and say, well, I've never worn makeup, but then you think, well, I've never had to find my eyebrows before. I've never, my eyebrows, my eyelashes, my hair gave me color. So actually, you didn't wear makeup because you were quite happy with how you were. And then the next minute, those have gone. So you need like a little bit of help with that. I mean, if I go back to what I wore, pretty much when I was at work and I had my wig on, I would have a full face of makeup on, my eyeliner on to disguise my eyelashes had disappeared. I was very 60s looking, or Katy Perry from there. And then there'll be days where I'd literally be a little bit of rouge on my cheeks, a little bit of lip balm with my cap on my head, and off I went. So it's about you, and we will help you. So the whole point of it is it's, some people will go, well, even turn up with their makeup bag and go, well, I'm used to doing makeup, but they want it. They're appearing basically because they want support. They want to be with people who will be able to talk and not just hear or pour you all the time, kind of thing. So very much, if you've never done makeup before, please, 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 please come. And again, we will. It gives you a chance just to try everything, and it's quite surprising the amount of ladies, even sometimes, who are just like, oh, I mean, you might be going to a wedding. When I was going through my treatment, I bizarrely met my husband, and I had to go to the work Christmas dues, and I was very much, oh, right, I need to put my makeup. There might be those things coming up, and you might want to look back and go, oh, look at that lovely photo. It's what you make of it. So please don't feel that you have to put anything on. You can sit there and put absolutely nothing on, and just take in all the info that we're doing. But we would always encourage you, because you've got a full kit of makeup, pick and choose what you want to use. Because you go, well, I'll give it a try with eyeliner, and we'll give you a tip how to get it straight, or it's all those things.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, I talk a lot, Dolores.
No, that's
If
fine.
if anyone ever comes to my workshop, they'll be like, oh my God, it's
No, I'd say you're very thorough. There's no such thing as talking too much, not in our world anyway. You're thorough, that's what you are. So just leading on from something you said there, Becky, you said that some will turn up with their makeup bag. Do One of the questions we've had actually is, do I need to bring anything with me, or is
No.
everything provided?
Everything's provided. So literally in the bag that you get, to say it is as big as that and as full as that. We literally what we do with the brands is we're basically supported by the cosmetic industry. So we will get things from Shiseido, from Dior, from Chanel, from NARS, from various different brands. And what we do is when we're sort of doing the workshops, we'll say to them, we would like from you a cleanser, a toner, a moisturizer, a foundation concealer, a lovely eyeshadow palette, a blusher, lip gloss, like a little bit of a lip balm and things. So we will provide absolutely everything from there. But please, again, it's like anything. Like I had one lady who came in and was like, "Oh, I still, I really love this particular eyeliner." I was like, "Well, put it on. Don't have to, you don't have to." But we always say to people, please do not give these items away because what's in your bag is over £250 worth of skincare and makeup in there. To tell you the truth, sometimes it's even up to £500, depending on what we have in relation to the donations as well from there. So yeah, do not need to bring anything, just yourself,
That's
basically.
that's brilliant, and it's really helpful to know that, isn't it? Because I know I would be one of those people that would hear, oh, somebody brought a makeup bag, and I would bring my kit and caboodle with me,
Mhm.
which I don't know how to put on, incidentally. But so it's good to know that actually just turn up with yourself. That's
Yeah,
all you're really interested in, and they will go away from one of the in-person sessions with a bag of goodies.
yeah.
Um, what happens if they join a session online, Becky? Do they still get some goodies?
Not so with the reason that we don't with the skincare and makeup one is because of we have the bags in colours. So we range all the way from sort of like light all the way through to extra dark. And what you will find is when you come in the room, and I always say it to the ladies when they walk in and they sit down, I'm like, I'm not looking at you intently because I'm kind of analysing you. I'm looking at your skin colour because we will then um give the bags out to the ladies and then go through. So, but what I would say is if you're still feeling a bit like I don't want to come yet, I'm not quite there yet, join the one online. And then what will happen is at the end of that, you'll go, I want to go to the in-person one and say they're everywhere. There will be one locally. So don't feel because you go to a particular hospital that you have to go to that hospital one. You might want, it's like I was treated at UCLH, but I actually live in Hertfordshire, so I could go to the one in Sawbridgeworth to, Watford, etc. So work wherever it's kind of easiest for you. Sometimes people travel up to see a relative, and then they've actually done a workshop up there as well. Actually, probably one thing to kind of let you guys know, which is we often get asked, is can we bring somebody with us? And what we tend to say is if they're needed for support in relation for sort of like almost like disability support, we would say yes. If it's just generally, oh, I'm feeling a bit whatever, we would generally tend to say for that person to stay outside. And the reason being, it sounds a bit mean, but what you find is everybody then starts to kind of talk amongst themselves, and what we want to do is ensure that everybody's in a safe space, and somebody may have turned up without somebody. And it's like that thing for the first time. And again, I know not everybody will have lost their hair, but the first thing, the moment people know, and we'll be talking about headscarves or something when they come in and I go, oh, that's a gorgeous headscarf. I had something like that. The next minute, the lady will go, oh, she's had cancer, and the headscarf comes off. So it's about making people feel comfortable, basically. So everyone's in that kind of safe space from there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it absolutely does, Becky. Thank you for that. So we have another question. I have checked the next workshop where I live, and it's in about 3 weeks, which is it's about 3 weeks after my chemo finishes.
Hmm.
Am I still able to come? So within that
Yes.
proximity of the chemo finishing.
Yes, that honestly, again, it's like with a lot of these things, it's when it's the right time for you. Um, you can come. I mean, generally, we tend to say with people, almost like a year. even 2 years post-treatment, because as I sort of said earlier as well, what's really interesting is you might have, I mean, I trooped through treatment. I was like, come on, right, next, 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 next. I need to get back to normality as quickly as possible. And then it hit me later that I kind of almost swept everything underneath the carpet. And it's, who knows when it's the right time. So definitely with that, but that lady, whether it's a few weeks after chemo, whether it's a year after chemo or radiotherapy, or even if you've just had surgery and that's all you've had, please, yeah, come along, because again, it's all about just being in that space. And I think what's sometimes lovely is even people to see people in different stages of treatment as well from there. It's kind of what you'll find is you might have somebody who, as you start talking and conversing, you have somebody who's about to start treatment. I had a gorgeous lady who I was doing her eyelashes, and I was like, "Oh, you've got gorgeous long eyelashes." And then she was telling me that she was about to start chemo, and I was like, "And you will do again." And obviously, it's that's kind of off the back of. And she was like, "How many years are you, Becky?" And I was like, "It's 10 years." And I said, it's there's things that we can do, and that's why I suppose I go back a little bit to some of the hair care. So even if hair doesn't come back, maybe you're even stressed and you're losing a bit of hair. There's all these different things, and within head wrappers and also the hair courses online where we can help you. It doesn't matter what stage. So I would probably say up to 2 years with us. But to tell you the truth, if you ring the girls in the office and you say, you're having a particularly day, they'll be like, right, we're booking you on. It's like,
That,
we're there.
yeah, no, that's really, really good to know, actually. And helpful for a lot of our members, actually, to know that if they're over that 2 years, that's okay. They can get in touch. It's not a rigid amount of time. But I can understand, as an organization, you have to have some kind of time frame in mind, but everybody on an individual basis, which
Hmm.
is which is perfect.
Yeah.
And I mean, everything that you've covered really explains, I think, in some way, the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it to you anyway. So how can these sessions help if I'm struggling with confidence during treatment?
Hmm. So it very much is. It's surprising that, again, because you're talking to people who are going through what you're going through. I think it's knowing that you're not alone. It's not you. It's We always ask when I'm sure we've all asked when we were diagnosed, why is it me? Why is it me out of everybody? And when you're going through treatment, you might see a lot of people. I mean, I remember seeing people across the room. Um, who, and we would always be a bit like, do we talk to each other? Do we not? Do we talk to each other? Do we not? And I didn't talk, and people would talk to me as they were leaving or finishing their chemo, and I'd never see them again. So it's about having kind of almost like companionship. You'll have a little bit of that. So you will, it might sound strange, but you will have a laugh. It's You might not have felt like having a laugh in a very long time. And the next minute you're just laughing and joking about the most ridiculous things. And normally it's about your symptoms that you're going through from there. It could be that maybe that you have a wedding or something coming up or a special birthday, um, and you still want to celebrate it, but you're not feeling like celebrating it. We had a lovely lady who was going to be mother of the bride the other day, and she was like, "Oh my God, I look." She said, "I'm going to walk into the chemo unit," because she was due to have a chemo afterwards, and go, like, "What's going on with you? You look amazing." And I think that's the thing. It's just about giving you that lift, Doreen. And what is it that gives you that lift? Is it that being with people? Is it having a laugh? Is it just that little bit of makeup that makes you feel like you again? I mean, I must say, as I said earlier, I met my husband when I had no hair and everything. He had no idea that I had no hair and eyebrows and eyelashes. Um, and and that's because I wanted to make myself feel like myself again. I wasn't going to allow it to not be me. I was going to be me again. So I think you're trying to get a bit of control is how I probably would sum it up. It's a little bit of control at that time when you really need it, because everybody else is taking care of you when it comes to treatment, but we're here to take care of you in other ways.
That's lovely. Thank you, Becky. And so we've still got questions coming in, which is brilliant. So, please do keep your questions coming in. We're more than happy to put them to Becky, and I know Becky is more than happy to answer them. Um, so this person is asking, and it might be something you may not be able to answer on the spot, but I'll put it to you anyway. Will there be any face-to-face sessions near Somerset? The nearest sessions that this person can find are in Torquay.
Ooh, what if you leave that one with me? Let
Sure.
me find out. Because what we sometimes, so we have a slightly different version that tends to happen sometimes, whereby we have hybrid sessions. So we have done that recently where we haven't got a session that's sort of a full face to face as such. And I've done it where I've been on the screen, but we've had a group of ladies in a room together with all of the bags kind of having fun. But let me find out. Let me find out. I'll speak with the lovely Michelle, who some of you may meet through workshops and things from there. And I'll come back to you guys and I'll let you know from the it's because it might be one of those areas where we're trying to get what tends to happen is, as we sort of said earlier, we rely on volunteers for these. On the odd occasion, I have come down. I've travelled the breadth of the country to do one as well from there. But let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. I'll speak with Michelle in head office and see what's going on with Somerset at the moment as well. So please leave it with me.
That's wonderful. Thank you. And what we will do is after the session today, and when the session is available, what we will do is we will send out a link to today's session to everybody that has joined us today. And we will wait for Becky to come back to us on that one, and we can include the answer to that. So everybody actually gets the answer to that, if that's okay.
Perfect.
So we haven't got any further questions at the moment. So on that note, what I will say is thank you so very much to Becky for providing us with such a wonderfully informative session. You've really covered, I think, every question that possibly anybody could think of. And you've explained the sessions so well and really have given exactly what they are, that warmth of welcome, that come along whatever stage of treatment or perhaps beyond treatment you may be, you would still be welcome. And if you are beyond the 2 years, that's okay. Just get in touch with the office, have a chat with them, and they will talk to you individually about that. So thank you so very much. If anybody does have any last minute questions, then please do quickly get them in. What I will do is I will just let you all know, whilst I've got you on a call, that we do have webinars from time to time, and you can find them all on our website, as I said earlier on. I think we may have one more question just come in, so that's good. Can you quickly say, Becky, what the styling with confidence is again, please? They just missed
Yeah, of
that little
course.
bit.
Yeah, no worries. So, we quite do quite a lot actually. It's we'll do colours. So very, there's a lot actually on Instagram at the moment. I noticed that I remember from Colour Me Beautiful back in the 80s. Colour sort of therapy and theory has never gone away. And what we do is we will kind of say, are you a spring, a summer, winter? So colours and things. What colours should you be wearing? So if you looked at me, I'm very much a winter, so I'm wearing black today, but I'm normally in bright red, bright blue and things, and anything that's muted doesn't suit me. So we will go through what your colouring is and what you should be wearing, and we'll also go through body shape. It's really interesting the amount of ladies who go, oh, I'm hourglass or I'm a pear, and actually there's something completely different. So actually they've been even if their body hasn't changed, they've been dressing incorrectly for their shape for pretty much the majority of their life. So we'll go through body shapes. If there's things that you want to, so I even thinking about probably more so what I need to do now. is, you know, like where you're taking things for like all the hormones and different bits and pieces as well. You might find that you've put on weight in certain areas. You might be that you've had operations that have meant that your shape has changed. So it's all about, should I be wearing, you know, like a higher waist, something lower? Should I be doing, you know, like what flatters and suits you? And it's really, yeah, no, it's really interesting how most people are wearing completely the wrong things for them. But again, it's a lot of fun and a lot of laughter with those sessions.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. That's really good to understand that. And you're right, there's so much about color theory everywhere, isn't it? And what color is right for you. And yeah, it has me looking at everything I wear very differently. I usually stick to black. Um, so on that note, we will once again say thank you so very much, Becky. If anybody has any kind of question that pops into their head after the session, then please email it to us at support@overcome.org.uk. And what we will do is we will ping it across to Becky, and she will no doubt be happy to answer that for us. So thank you everybody for joining us for today's webinar. We are very grateful for your time, and we wish you a very pleasant afternoon. Thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye now.